Hello again, Mrs. Dr. Goodwin. So what am I doing here? I just got this pen in the mail today from eBay, and I think this is the one I got on eBay. Yes, it's a Crusader, and it has a typical Waterman sort of flex nib to it. Let me zoom in here. Nice and springy. I think it'll make a sketcher happy. It's making me happy. So if it can make me happy, it'll make you happy. If I want to sell it, I probably will. This is a Salts Brothers pen. It was in a drawer that I just opened up, and there it was looking at me. Yeah, you're saying. But look at its nib. Very, very boing, 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 very springy. Puts down a gallon of ink. Or in this case, inky water. This is almost just dirty water I'm putting in this. Really might railroad a bit because it does put out a lot of ink. It's one of these nibs that feels a little bit fragile. This is one I've been drawing with for a while. Again, it was in my fine nibbed drawer, and I thought, I kind of like this pen. So I thought I'll fill it up with ink and draw with it or write with it. Can you even see what I'm doing? Let me clean where's my lens on this thing? Is that better? Look at that. If all I had to do is just make these sorts of lines all day long with this pen, I'd almost be happy. If I didn't actually have to think or add up things or write a sentence that makes sense. But these fine lines, as you know, because you've heard me before, if you write small or rather slowly and carefully, the lines are like 10 times fatter than that. You have to write fast. So can I write small and fast at the same time? Can I do that? I don't know if I can. I wonder if I learn to write maybe like this. You can't even see what I'm doing. I'm not using my fingers, I'm using my arm. If I'd learned to treat my hand like a seismograph, maybe that would work better. It's really hard making a fine line when you're actually writing letters that have to go next to another letter to be spelled correctly. Which is why, when the calligrapher does a fancy capital letter, it allows them to have fun and have this range from thick to thin, and it has that wow factor. What other pens do I have here that I can show you? This is a Venus pen from the 50s, and it was made with a gold nib. I don't know, maybe it sold for $10 or $7 or something. It's scratchy. I don't know why. It sounds like it's eating graham crackers in bed. What does this one do? Oh, nothing. Doesn't do a damn thing. Sheaffer. Does this unscrew? It does unscrew. It needs all sorts of stuff on this one. This is one of these nibs that's unforgiving. It's really very rarely do you find one that has sort of a flex to it. Skyline with a broken clip. Can I fix that? I might be able to fix that. This is an Eversharp nib that wants to be a Sheaffer nib. Wants to grow up to be a Sheaffer nib. It's relatively stiff. You know, if fountain pens all had nibs like this, I would probably collect bottle caps or something, because it wouldn't give me the pleasure of a fine nib or a flexible nib. It's just... Come in! Hi. Hold on 1 second. Yes? Yes.
I have an idea for a show.
Yeah.
Anatomy, any medium, sculpture, drawing, painting. Does that sound good?
It sounds like fun. You have to let Deborah know,
Okay.
because she's in charge of making the show.
I mean, we can have a hallway, you know,
Yeah.
but I'll tell her to.
Yeah, I mean, we can do it in the bakery.
Oh, yeah.
Too. You don't need to, that's easier to do, so.
Cool. Well, this will
Okay.
be fun.
Good, okay.
There's plenty of grizzly things.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Bye. My neighbor just came in and had an idea for a show, and what's wrong with this pen? That's what's wrong with it. That crack right there. The nib is quite nice though. See, this is a nib that, and there's a crack right there too. All sorts of problems with this pen. Oh well, has a nice nib. I can put this nib in something else. I've already shown you this one, I'm sure, recently. This is a, zoom back out again. This is a, what was this, a Weidlich pen. Needs a feed. What's in this drawer? Nothing. What's in this drawer? All sorts of stuff. Anything good? This is one of those Sheaffer inlaid nibs. It's one of these kind of fillers. And every once in a while, you'll get one of these pens that has a really, really fine nib. And as long as you don't press down too hard and pull the nib up from the background that it's sitting on, it should last forever. So it's a pen waiting for an owner in a sack. What's this? What's this? A Sheaffer. really stiff, typical Schaefer nib, but there's a little bit of give, which makes it fun. If it has that kind of give, and it's that fine to begin with, it's a good pen in my book. Is this a Skyboy or just a Schaefer? Or is this just... Did this fault go down the garbage disposal? Yes. My God, there are a lot of teeth marks on this thing. Come on, get in focus. There you go. Kind of, sort of. I could bring this to an engraver and say, could you turn those into a little cascading vine? This needs a feed. What else does it need? Needs a feed. Oh yes, sir, of course I can turn that into a vine. This pen is broken in half. I bought this pen at a pen show, and a week later I took the cap off, but the cap came off along with this much of the pen. These Waterman plastics of this era are notoriously brittle. Okay, these are going to go back in the drawer because now I'm starting to get depressed. What's this? What's this? Oh, I remember. This is missing its pencil down here. This pattern of the plastic reminds me of the quilting of the casket liner. And what's wrong with this? Is this broken? Is this just needing a nib? It's again this brittle Waterman era plastic. Oftentimes they're cracked up here. This one seems to be... It'd help if I had light. That's a seam. That's another seam. I don't think this is a crack. Shall I see if I have a nib that'll fit this? Let's try it out. No, yes. Nibs. Is this the one I want? Accountant nib. I think these are Waterman nibs. No. No. Maybe. Okay, where did the pen go? Seems like it's a little tiny bit too big. These late Waterman, that's way too early. These late Waterman pens were not always as the nibs were smaller than they used to be back in the good old days. So maybe it will need a number 2 size nib to go in there. I don't know if this is a Waterman, but we'll see if it fits. If it fits, you must convict. How did that rhyme go? What kind of nib is this? It's a 4-carat nib. Oh, there's a 1 in front of it. Well, this is an off-brand nib made by brand X. Unknown brand. It's okay. Fits in this pen. I can always, if I find a Waterman nib that will fit better, I can always swap it out. But here I've got this warranted 14-karat nib in this Waterman pen, and I can put a sack in it, and I can write the most beautiful letter ever. What is this? Why is this here? Waterman Sterling Silver 452.5 LEC. Why is that in a drawer that I forgot about? This is the pen that will be buried with me. I love those kinds of things. What is this thing? Someone's social security number? 109-833-9581. Why is this here? This is a Schaefer snorkel. It probably does not work. Looks like I had red ink in it at one point. Put it back. Have I done anything other than waste your time for 17 minutes and 18 seconds, 19 seconds? Go back to this one. Lovely little nib. This is the one I got today. Perfectly fine. This is one that I just rediscovered today and has a really yummy nib that Todd Merrill will like, maybe. Sorry, Todd. I mean, this is like that star nib, but it may have the same problem that that star nib has in that railroads.